this video, we will be talking about rounding. Now, rounding numbers is a very important skill for science. Oftentimes, you'll be plugging numbers into a calculator and you'll get this really long number. Well, it's not really appropriate to write all the numbers down. In a prior video, we talked about the importance of precision of measurement and how the last digit is always an estimate. Say you're doing a calculation and the number you get on your calculator is 1.142857142857143. If you wrote that whole number down, it would be as if you're claiming your answer is precise to the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to 15 decimal places. Well, that's not true. No ruler goes that far. So if we want to be more honest about how precise our measurement is, we're going to have to round. And in this class, you will often be told where to round to, whether to round to the tenths place or the hundredths place, etc. Consider the number 6,456.979. Well, this first number 6 is in the thousands place. The 4 is in the hundreds place. The 5 is in the tens place. 6 is in the ones place. Now that first 9 after the decimal is in the tenths place. The 7 is in the hundredths place. And the last 9 on the edge here is in the thousandths place. We could keep going with this, but these are the ones you will use the most often. When you round, you'll round to the place value you are told to round to. The first thing you're going to do is to look at the number just to the right of the one you want to round to. And then you're going to follow these basic rules. First, if the number is greater than or equal to 5, you're going to round up. And this means you're going to add 1 to the number that you are rounding to. If this number is less than 5, you are going to round down. And this means keeping the number that you are rounding to as it is. Let's see what this means by looking at a couple of examples. Let's consider this number again. Now say we are told to round to the hundredths place, and that's the 7 right here. We'll look at the number just to the right of it, and that's this 9. Since 9 is greater than 5, we will add 1 to the hundredths place, and this is going to change 7 to an 8. We're going to get rid of everything to the right of the hundredths place, since we don't need those extra decimal numbers. Our final answer is 6,456.98. Here's another example. Say that we are asked to round the same number to the hundreds place. That's the 4 here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the number just to the right, and this is a 5. The rule is round up numbers that are greater than or equal to 5, and this one's equal to 5, so we will round up. We add 1 to the number we want to round to, so our 4 becomes a 5. Now, we can get rid of the decimal and any numbers to the right of it because we're rounding to a place value greater than 1. However, we have to keep the zeros before the decimal because they are important placeholders. If we dropped them, our final number wouldn't be anywhere near the number we started with. We've got to keep zeros in. Now let's try another one. We are going to round to the thousands place. First thing we do, we locate our thousands place, and we're going to look at the number to the right of it. We see this as a 4. According to our rounding rules, if the number you need to round to is less than 5, you round down. And that means the number in the place we are rounding to is going to stay the same. Just like we did before, the numbers that are to the right are going to be changed to zeros. You can go ahead and get rid of the decimal and everything to the right of that decimal place, but we have to keep the placeholder zeros that are to the left side of the decimal. So our final number is going to be 6,000. Let's do a couple more examples. Pause the video from time to time and see if you can try these yourself. The first one, round 24.973 to the nearest 100th. We are going to look for the hundredths place, and that is this 7 right here. We see that the number to the right of it is a 3, and that is less than 5, so we will round this down. And our final number is 24.97. How about another one? Round 476.99 to the tens place. Well, the first thing we have to do is identify which place is the tens place, and that is the 7 right here. Let's look on the right-hand side of that number, and we see we have a 6. Now, 6 is greater than 5, so we're going to round up, and that 7 is going to turn into an 8, and our final number is 480. Remember that last 0 is a placeholder, so we have to leave the 0 there. Now let's round 476.99 to the tenths place rather than the tens. Once again, let's identify where we are going to round to, and we'll look to the right of that, and we see that we have a 9. Well, 9 is greater than 5, so we're going to have to round this up. But here's where we have to do something a little differently, because what happens if you round 9 up? Well, you get 10, correct? But we can't have a 10 there after the decimal place. So we're going to have to carry that 1 and add that 1 to the 6 in the ones place right here. So our final number is going to be 477.0. Now we have to have that 0 in there at the end, and that is to show that we've rounded to the tenths place. You should now know how to round a number if you're given a particular place to round a number to.